Hello, welcome back. Of course, we have some good news, and that is LR Zamasu has finally been released. Part two is initially kicking off, but I'm doing this video for. You might have noticed you can buy a blue stone from the 100 stone pack. You can do this several times, but I'm going to see if it's actually worth it. Now, I'll be honest, going through a bunch of these, actually looking at everything. Every one of these actually has an easy A, and most of these are actually pretty decent. I mean, Vegito Blue is probably the best one on this, no doubt. Roses, well, the SDR counterpart has beaten him. Super Saiyan 4s, you actually could argue are the best. I mean, they are phenomenal on GT Hero, right? Super Saiyan 3 Goku is good for like monotype. It's really good. Super Saiyan 3, which is really limited. Same with Gotenks. I believe the other Gotenks as well is on here. This guy obviously hits way harder. Super 17 can be useful. You can use him on GT bosses, especially for that Fighting Legend event, right? With GT Goku. Same with this guy. After his Easy 8 is, you can use him. The original Super Vegito, he's still good, and it's taking like the most difficult things in the game to take him down. I mean, Cell Max, I mean, this guy has 90% damage reduction. Sure, he has type disadvantage against Cell Max in the last phase, and he's still taking like 150k at normal. But even in red zone, he's fine, unless it's like type disadvantage. And I can't really think of anything that's going to take him down. I mean, these two right here for Youth and Super Saiyan, by the way, are a fantastic combination. The Golden Freezers, of course, we all know they're just epic tanks. Giants, if you're really struggling for Giant and you haven't even pulled this guy, he could be really good, right? There's a lot of good units of this, like Broly's a stacker. So there's decent ones. We'll have a look at them. Of course, what I think is probably the best is probably Super Vegito. He has a reasonable leader skill for a lot of players. Like this could be a chance for you to spend the £35 and actually get it. I think it's the same for $35, or it's 35 for whatever your currency is, right? So I mean, he has um, a nice superclass key for 80% to stats, which is doable. He greatly raises attack and defense on his super, for which he does two attacks, each of which has a 30% chance of becoming a super attack. That is quite normal for him to do triple and even quadruple super attack, right? And he does need it because he's a counter unit. And he also, not only that, but he reduces damage from normal attacks by 40%. His links is key and attack. You're not going to struggle. He's really good at Batara, Future. So, in fact, you could throw him in on basically any one of these and it works. He is only slowed down by Cell Max. In fact, you could run him if you wanted to do the what I best think I used him for against the red zone Shenron, where you gotta defeat that last stage with one of every super type. If you go fuse fighters, you can actually get away with him as the physical one because you'll have type advantage in the last phase. You'll also be reducing damage, and you'll also counter a lot of his normal, right? If you find an excuse for him to go first, then yes. So like slot 2 or slot 3 would be most ideal for this guy. He is incredible, and he's taken the most damaging things in the game to really put this guy down. So he is, without a doubt, probably one of the strongest. Even though he has an easy A, at Rainbow, he's sitting at 9,000. It's not so bad. It's a little low these days. No doubt there'll be a much stronger version of him, counters, reduces damage, all that stuff. And he's going to have close to 14k, right? I mean, you factor in he's got 40% less damage from normal attacks, and it balances out, right? So he's still really, really good on this. Your next one you've got is Super Vegito, right? He is still fantastic. Still reduces damage by 80%, 80%, and counters. And he also, after his Easy A, has this scouter effect, right? If you enter the turn with less than 40% HP, as it says right there, you'll also you'll also pick up a scouter. His only flaw is that he only gets defense in his passive after he's received a hit. So the first one could possibly hurt, especially if it's a super attack. This guy gets insta killed on super attacks. And of course, if that is the first attack, it's bye-bye, no matter what event you're doing. Outside of like docking events, it's bye-bye. It's mad. He has like a similar sort of stat with physical VB, but he's just too old, and they need to bring him up. And even if you crit counter, you're doing like a tenth of the damage of an LR or even physical VB. He is still good for Extreme Super Battle Road and normal Super Battle Road and Infinite History and Fight and Legend events, only because of this. I mean, as long as it's normals, then yes, you can tag team it with this Scouter effect, right? And then really you can go good. It would be nice if this guy had start of turn defense. Now, there is a thing that they're coming up in the future, and that is a double easy A. It's in the pipeline, but I don't know if they'll bring it out anytime too soon. But if they did double easy A on much older units to make an easy A still worthwhile, this guy could be the number one most hype going. He could be crown king again if they just give him a bit of defense and much more attack. I mean, for what he is still good, but it's he's dropped off, but he still has viability. You just be using him to just absorb damage. These two, right? So what I like about these two is these are fantastic. They share basically 6 links, other than having royal lineage, and I think this guy's got I can't remember what Kamehameha or something along those lines. These two are fantastic. They are really good on hybrids, Majin Buu, Movie Hero, Youth, Super Saiyan, Battle of Wits, Gifted Warriors, Bond of Freight, basically everything. These two as a combination, they're insane. Start of turn defense is way over 150k, and they build attack and defense for up to 6 turns. You keep them on rotation. The second phase of the Super Battle Road for Super Saiyans is STR King Cold, and it's what is it, physical. But basically, you have type advantage for against King Cold with the Goten, and you have like a type neutral with this Trunks. But basically, I think it's like Cooler who might be like King Cold or Cooler. One of them is STR, and you could basically one shot the guy. If you double super, you'll basically end one of them. They're that powerful. It's insane. They can have close to 300k. This is without support, by the way. And if you run this guy on Goku family and the other guy in Vegeta family, respectively, you can get support. But Movie Heroes has support as well as youth as well. Like youth hybrid Saiyans like the Goten, the banner support for Super Saiyan Goten, the tech one, also works really well on this. These two are incredible. Really, if you're struggling for youth, if you're struggling on hybrid, sibling bonds, Super Saiyans, Movie Heroes. I mean, you could really just use these two as an absolute combination, and trust me, after the Easy A, they're absolutely insane, right? They build this up, so a double super attack would be great. They have start of turn, they get additional, they get damage reduction when you have a Goten or a Krillin or an Android 18, but of course, you'd mainly run them alongside this unit, right? These two are absolutely incredible. Next we have is Golden Frieza. So him and the AGL, I still prefer this guy because he has way more attacking power. He still reduces damage by 80%, not the AGL 90%. But what I like about this guy is if you fall below 50%, you still have 50% damage reduction, which can help, but you also gain a wicked attack buff. Whereas the AGL Frieza, you fall below that threshold. I think it's now 40% after his Easy A, 50 prior, right? You fall below that threshold and you're as good as dead. You have like 20k defense max. This guy, he has, I mean, it's not great actually because he doesn't have any start of turn defense, right? He just has this. By the way, this is after his Easy A as well, right? No start of turn defense. But if you fall below that 50%, you feel that 30% because he only has around 70, 80k. And that is not enough, even with the defense. But saying that, on Resurrected Warriors movie boss, full power, in fact, basically every single one of these, those two together are a potent combination. In fact, realistically, you don't put them on the same. You put them on alternating ones. Now, I must warn you, these two are, while they are incredibly great, they are also MVPs. But I must warn you, you notice the lack of defense when you go into Movie Boss Extreme Super Battle Road. Damn, they take like AGL Freezer is taking like 15k a normal. That is absolutely savage. And this guy's taking around 30k and normal, which is good. It's better than LR Janemba, for example. But every other category in Extreme Super Battle Road, they're taking double digits, only except for movie bosses. But no doubt, they are a tank, and so long as you keep that threshold, you will just survive. These are brilliant. In fact, there's a lot of good things on this. The next one we could have a look at is Broly. He is such an old unit. When did he come out? 2016. He is basically as old as the game. You know, he is that old. But the thing is with this guy is he's good now. He triple supers, quite common, and he's a stacking unit, right? He stacks. You super with only 8 and then you have a what is it? Yeah, you launch an additional super attack, so you're guaranteed to launch 2, so you double stack, and every time you do an attack, you also build crit. You only need 20 hits. That's 10 rotations, so it's definitely a long event. You can have a 40% chance to crit. Double stacking, your hidden potential system will kick in. That's three. That's 3 super attacks. He has start of turn defense, so because it's so low, yeah. I mean, even after his easy A's, he's only pumping out around still, yeah, 8,000, only 8,000, which is not great. I mean, even if you don't have him rainbow, he's not really that great. But he's a stacking unit, so give him a chance and he will absolutely work out well. You cannot run him in extremely difficult content. It's more the older difficult content. About the same time as the Fighting Legend UI Goku, and he could devastate that. But beyond that, it's really difficult. You might have some use with him on, say, Exploding Rage, Legendary Existent, Planetary Destruction, Target Goku Full Power. You might be able to get away with him on that, but for sure, movie bosses and Pure Saiyans, you'll just get killed. But stacking events, if you find a reason to use this guy, he is probably the best Broly going. Kid you not. Each Broly has their own uses, right? I mean, I'm probably outside of the Int who also stacks as well. He also does reduce damage, I'll be honest. So perhaps he is better. But really, outside of him, all the LR Brolys that we got, all the other Brolys that we've got, it doesn't matter after Easy A. This guy's probably one of the better ones. Then we have the Super Saiyan 4s. Arguably, you could say that these are absolutely one of the best. I mean, on the GT Heroes team, right? They are doing like 7 million, 8 million attack stats. They have like 350k defense. They're a monster. I mean, the two of them combined, him and Vegeta, they're absolutely insane. And they're really good on Pure Saiyans if you build a team around Super Saiyan 4s, which you can do. Super Saiyan 4s, of course, is Giant Ape Power. Turtle School, but it's just Goku's really. Kamehameha. You've just got to build a team around GT Hero / Giant Ape Power because that's where it is, right? Because you've got Saiyan Raw and GT, and they alone are Giant Ape Power specific links. But again, they're absolutely insane. Find a reason to run these. I mean, he also, not only does he greatly raise his attack, which is a 50% raise, it's monstrous, he also raises this by 30% for 6 turns. You get to build up that defense. He has crazy amounts of attack and defense at the start of turn, and you get even more. Basically, you're getting 90% attack on super attack. It's ridiculous. All Super Saiyan 4s, by the way, have a 30% chance to dodge at a bare minimum. Some have 50, some have 70. I think there's 2 that have 50. That's the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Ink Gogeta. And there's only 1 at 70, and that's Tech Gogeta, right? Probably the better one. But all Super Saiyan 4s have this, which means if you run a Giant Ape Power, or mainly this with like a GT Hero, chances are you're going to dodge a super attack at some point, right? They don't do that much damage, but they're all really good. But yeah, no, these are exclusive to a few of these teams, right? You gotta build the team around it. Of course, after his EZA, I mean, he's looking at nearly 20,000 attack. Vegeta has a bit more defense, but again, they're absolutely insane. And the last one we can have a look at is Shenron. So the real big thing about this guy is on Shadow Dragon Saga and GT bosses. And he is a full power support, 2 keen attack. He would have been made twice as good if that was defense, by the way, right? If he just gave 40% defense, or even just half the amount. However, he is crucial for various few reasons. One, he can be a fantastic battlefield lead. Like it's 4 key and 100% to stats, but mainly 4 key right there. Not only that, but he passively lowers enemy attack by 40%. Incredible. This on Extreme Super Battle Road and Super Battle Road, even Extreme Super Battle Road, honestly, it's an easy no item win. You want to feel good about yourself, no item this on the Extreme Super Battle Road. You can use 120% Oceanus, and she is really good because she also lowers basically everyone in the Shadow Dragon Saga lowers attack and or defense, and most of them have had an easy A, and they're absolutely insane, right? It's really incredible. The guy is like mono type extreme super battle road for extreme STR, right? Versus what is it be what super physical whether it be versus it you're untouched. It's easy no item. I mean, it's 4 key 100% to stats, but the caliber of Extreme STR is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we've gone through probably the top 7 or 8 right there, but we haven't even done because there you got like Tapion, who's fantastic for Giant. This Trunks, he's an int orb changer and also super effective against all types against the Realm of Gods. You know, you have Kaioken Goku's not bad. The only problem with him is that while he's great for key and attack and can easily super attack and do crazy damage, and he does that he has that once time crit as well. He does sacrifice health. STR Cell after his easy A is a stacker. You got to get 6 orbs, but to really get that extra part of his passive. Physical Cooler, he is basically LR Cooler, but just not the LR form, right? He is fantastic. He's capable of doing, what, 9 million. He builds up and he does like 9 million attack stats with like 300k defense. The only problem is he has no super attack effect, and you really see a difference between having defense in your super attack effect and not. I mean, there's really good units in this. The thing then is it worth the £35 or the $35 that it takes to buy this? Uh, I want to say yes, because there's some really good units on this. And honestly, if you're more towards the newer side and you're thinking to yourself, I'm at the point where Super Battle Road is coming into play, or you've done them but you think, I'm in the point of doing Extreme Super Battle Road, or there's Fighting Legend missions, honestly, probably spending 35 just once, just to pick one of these out could be huge. The only really one on here I would say to avoid is this guy. This guy is ass. I don't even know what they did about him. Let me actually bring him up. This Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly is absolute dog. It's ridiculous. Oh, where is he? Where's Broly? There you go. I love those ads. Broly, in particular. Oh, was he under Legendary Super Saiyan, or was he? Is it beer? Oh, no, there he is. I saw him. Right, Broly. So Super Saiyan 3 Broly, absolutely ridiculous. This guy. He is no doubt a powerhouse. This guy, but there's one large problem. So prior to his Easy A, he sacrificed. Was he lowered defense per key sphere obtained, and when after his Easy A, he still did, but the effect was you get 40% less. It just curtailed how much it lost. No doubt this guy can do like 12 million attack stats. Well, no, it's a bit of an exaggeration. This guy can hit way hard than most people can give him credit for. Even though he now has started turn defense, you get more than Oh, yeah, basically, you get more than these three orbs for his additional super, and you just lose your defense. Honestly, getting like 8 orbs, if you manage to string it together, would nerf his defense into the ground, but you do like a 7 million attack stat, and on Super Saiyan 3, or like crossover or something, you just insta kill the enemy, but the next hit would kill you. Like, this is the only one I'd say don't do. Is it worth it? It's up to you. I would actually say yes. I would say, although this is based around like a free to play game, there are pay to win benefits. I'd say this is actually one of the times it's a benefit. There are far too many great units on this that you can actually pick, and which could be really, really useful, between tanks to all round effectiveness to absolute powerhouses to very focused on specific teams. There are units on here like the Super Saiyan 4s and these two who be good for as a rotation, right? You got the Golden Freezers that'll be good as a rotation. The Vegetos are good as a rotation. They're all really good, right? I would say Shenron will probably be one of the better ones to go for if your GT bosses is lacking behind, because right, that infinite that no that Fighting Legend event against the Super Saiyan against GT Goku, it is tough. And with a very limited roster and not really a proper team, and no one's probably going to have Tech 17, right? So you're probably going to run the LR Baba, who, by the way, despite 130%, is really good, right? You just find that this guy could be the most useful. So yeah, that's it. I'd say it is worth it. There is a lot you can get from this, but it's up to you to determine if, like, I don't know, 35 is actually worth it for you. But just once, it may actually be. But just remember, if you're going to spend 100 stones on this, and you're going to get this blue stone, perhaps maybe cycle those stones into the step up banner for those who do need it. Because chances are, if you find one of these worthwhile, chances are then that you're also the kind of person who could benefit from the step up banner. So, as much as it might be nice to get carnival coins and go for Zamasu, maybe think about the longer run, and because it's only a few weeks away. But all right then, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you didn't, sucks to be you, doesn't it? All right then, thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time.